force him on to Lee Sin. Actually, they decide to ban away together with Nidalee, so Copenhagen Wolves don't want to risk Froggen on Nidalee, don't want to risk the siege comp, and at the same time they actually respect Devil in here from Shook. We could even see a Kha'Zix ban as the last one from Copenhagen Wolves then.
Zed's still available. Lulu has been banned out, taken away from CowTard. We'll see whether that gets locked in. But remember, CowTard's played Kale quite a lot, so that would actually be a fairly decent counter to Zed.
Yeah, and they have last pick as well here, so they can just wait with their mid lane pick in case there should be a Zed here from Froggen's side. But Kha'Zix is open. Instantly the one alliance that you want to log in. Very smart, very obvious. Copenhagen Wolves, they knew it, and that's why now they have 2 picks prepared for them. Gragas is one of them. Very important pick here for CowTard. He loves to play Gragas. He loves these farm champions. And with 6... Sorry,
I'm dying, man.
It looks pretty good. Anyhow, the Gragas, 6 being banned away. Go-to champion is, of course, the Gragas for him. Long-range poke, long-range siege, and, of course, you have so much wave clear and farm potential in the mid lane here. And Lucian for Forgiven, very standard. Always, if it's open for him, he always locks in the Lucian.
Well, I like to keep you talking, frankly, because my voice just gave out on me there. I'm not too sure what happened, but Thresh looks like it may get locked in for Alliance this time around. That would take it away. Don't want to get that Thresh-Lucian combo. But Gragas, interesting champion being locked in there, because in 4.5 he's had some changes.
In 4.5, yes. But we, of course, are playing on 4.4 here, where he is very strong, and we've seen YoungBuck actually play him up in the top lane as well. So Copenhagen Wolves not giving too much away. And this fresh pick up for Alliance, I don't think they actually mind, because Unlimited, he doesn't actually play it. He normally falls back on like Karma or Leona if he wants to be engaged here. So it's a very annoying lane to deal with, because Alliance with Thresh and Caitlyn here, so it's going to be a very hard lane to deal with from Copenhagen Wolves, especially if they lock in Leona. Then if they lock in Leona here, we should expect a lane swap from them.
So, it is going to be Caitlyn and Thresh locked in alongside that. Remember, Zed's still available, could get locked in here by Alliance, but right now we do see also Lee Sin and Karma being picked up by Copenhagen Wolves.
So, Karma simply to do well in this laning phase against Thresh, because, yeah, Leona 2 vs 2 against Caitlyn Thresh, nope, not gonna happen here. So, Karma pick, strong laning phase, good utility to the team. Also, with Lee Sin, you have shield from Lee Sin, you have shield from Karma, in case there should be a Zed locked in from Froggen here, so they can put some good shields onto whoever he's gonna target with his ultimate and try and make sure this person actually survives. And also, of course, Lee Sin for Amazing. We've seen it so many times, and it's the reason they didn't mind giving Kha'Zix over to Alliance.
Zed is being hovered over. Of course, we saw Froggen playing this very well earlier on in the day and could pull it out again. Had some fantastic games last week on it as well. Aurelia also being hovered over. Will this be Wicked's final game on Aurelia?
So, Zed being logged in here, it could actually mean Gragas will go top lane for YoungBuck, and we then see the Kale logged in for CowTard in the mid lane here. Unless they want to put it on something like Renekton to try and shut down Aurelia early on. Possibly even putting on something like Jax, where he can duel this Aurelia and outscale her as well and force out of the lane. So let's see what they actually decide to pick and where this Gragas will go. If it's going to be Gragas in the top lane against Wicked, it just shows once again Copenhagen Wolves can lane swap easily.
Would it be Poppy? Unlimited hovering over it at the moment. Not too sure. I mean, let's not discount. This Gragas could be YoungBuck in that top lane. He has played it before, and he may well be this time around. And it could mean that Rise goes in that mid lane.
Or again, of course, it could mean Rise goes up in the top lane against this Aurelia. And early on, Aurelia got some mana issues, so it's hard for her to be too aggressive in the early stages of the game. That's where Rise can just farm up, get the early tier, get a catalyst, and he's gonna start being very strong, can actually duel this Aurelia here. So the pick would make a lot of sense. Also, of course, scaling into the late game, we know how strong Rise is. So the whole combo from Copenhagen Wolves, if they do log in this Rise, and they do, is very focused around, of course, the magic damage from both from the Karma and then both the solo laners, but also good wave clear and good scaling into the late game.
And we'll see where this Rise goes, whether it goes into that mid lane. And you know, we actually haven't seen Amazing's Lee Sin for quite some weeks now, because he's been banned away from this. This is probably the first time he's been let through in about 3 weeks, I'd say.
And we have seen him dominate the early games on this Lee Sin so many times. He's so important for Copenhagen Wolves early on. We see these games where they do nothing early. It's often if other teams actually shut down Lee Sin. So it could be a goal for Alliance. Put a lot of focus on where is Amazing. Can we get a kill on him early? Force him a bit out of the early game so Copenhagen Wolves are fairly weak. And then again, we've come here from Alliance. Much like the game early on for them where they played Zed, it's the same kind of deal. You have Caitlyn standing in the mid lane when it comes to mid game or late game. wave clear. You have Zed split pushing one lane, you have Aurelia split pushing another lane, and it simply means the same thing. If you get ahead early game, so that Copenhagen Wolves can respond to your 1v1, they can't beat you 1v1, they cannot stop you from split pushing. That's where you can do like Fnatic did, simply just take the whole map, take control of the whole map, and just split push everywhere up and win the small fights.
One thing's for sure, both of these teams are on comfort champions. Everybody has played these champions before. So the players have made their picks and bans, so let's check in the votes over at lolesports.com. It looks like you've chosen Alliance by 76%. No surprises there. They had a great couple of weeks coming into the Super Week.
Of course, they looked very, very strong. Yes, there were some shaky games for them during the Super Week, but as long as they can fix it going into the playoffs, they will come in again as a very, very strong team. And of course, one team we need to we should expect go towards the semi-final.
And of course, if they lose this game, not only does it create that obviously tiebreaker with Roccat, it would mean they've gone 1-3 in the Super Week, which would be a bad performance after a 4-0 back in Week 8.
Also, if they go to the tiebreaker, lose to Roccat, then they're gonna face Gambit Gaming in the quarterfinal. And if it goes between facing Copenhagen Wolves or Gambit Gaming, I personally would choose Copenhagen Wolves.
Absolutely. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Possibly the final. It is the 16th game of Super Week, and it's been a tremendous Super Week, honestly. We've seen some fantastic matches throughout these last 3 days. They really have put on a show, these teams, and positions could well be determined without any tiebreakers should Alliance take victory here. Unlimited is going to get caught out potentially in a flame, quickly picked up and skilled up there and hits straight on Wickd.
And actually put down the ward he bought from level 1 here. Alliance then noticed they pinged it out, so they know now there's a ward here. So if we see a gank towards the mid lane from Shook, he should be running the other way around here, going from this side, the blue side, into the mid lane for a gank, because they're full. They know where the ward is from Copenhagen Wolves, and now they're actually moving up here. Want to try and set something up. And notice what Copenhagen Wolves did. Double teleport. So that's how they're going to defend this split push. They're going to have Ryze and YoungBuck standing in different lanes, clearing out the waves, and then if they can try and set something up, they can always teleport in to join the fights.
Well, the Wolves are one of the teams that tend to rotate the most, and at the moment they haven't chosen to go that way in these opening levels. It looks like Unlimited and Forgiven are going to be sticking around. They're waiting in that death push down the bottom. It's going to be a late invade and a possible 4-man invade from the Wolves here in towards this red buff.
Yeah, and with the teleport onto YoungBuck, he can always just teleport up in the lane here, so he can stay with the team. So they're going to be 4 and only 3 members from Alliance. That's why they feel safe enough walking in here without any vision. And they're actually going to go in and spot out Shook. He's waiting in the bush.
Oh, he's just stepped away. I think he'd got vision of that one and goes at the right time. Goes it safely, and wisely so, but as long as he doesn't try and get too greedy and try and sneak in the smite, which he's trying to do. Good pilt over there. Amazing, taking very low on this one, tanking it out. Oh, that death sentence would have landed. Could well have been enough. The ignite burning. Another shot comes out there. Maybe we're going to see Froggen. Will he fancy it? It's not going to get close enough, but amazing. That's going to slow his jungle path down.
Yeah, at least going to make him very low, so it means once he actually picked up the double buff, he might have to recall back to base instead of going for an early gank here. So it also means for Nyph, of course, with the ignite gone, the early fights in the bottom lane, Copenhagen Wolves with Ignite is going to have a small advantage.
So, bottom lane, we do see Nyph and Tabzz in there early. Of course, they just put a lot of damage back down on the Wolves. Will mean that they should hit level 2 first off. And of course, that is quite important in this bottom lane. Nyph, of course, could go for that death sentence. We already know he's leveled it up. Will he get for the pill, get the flay next, of course, and maybe try and make a play before they hit 2.
And it's very rare we actually see Copenhagen Wolves sacrifice the bottom lane a little bit because they went for the red buff. It delayed them coming down here. And normally, Copenhagen Wolves is a team who always make sure their bottom lane is in the lane at 155, pushing it up so they get the early level 2 and can poke down. So let's see how they handle actually being behind early on.
Well, they still haven't hit level 2 yet, Copenhagen Wolves. We saw that death sentence coming out the second Nyph hit level 2. Already leveled up that flay, ready and waiting to go, but it was dodged out by the Wolves, and it seems that early pressure is going to be alleviated by the Wolves finally hitting 2 here. In this mid lane, well, CowTard and Froggen, they've been going at it a little bit here at the moment. CowTard has the CS advantage over Froggen, put some early pressure down on him.
Yeah, Zed needs a few levels before he can really start harassing in. And of course, with level 6, he gets his all-in potential. So that's why CowTard with his Ryze, putting all the pressure onto actually hitting Froggen, trying to deny him some CS and get him low. Because as long as he keeps him away from, let's say, about 80% HP, then Froggen will never actually be able to go full in onto CowTard without the risk of him just turning it around and killing him.
Let's take a look at this top lane. We haven't seen this one for a while, or if at all this season, honestly. Aurelia up against the Gragas. Wickd, of course, on that Aurelia that he loves so very much. Casting all the way back to Season 2 where he was not allowed. He was wishing during those World Finals that he could get his beloved Aurelia, but every team in the world knew he wanted it and they all banded out against him for him. YoungBuck, meanwhile, well, he's played Gragas to great success once in the LCS. We'll see whether he can do it again.
Well, he's actually pushing Wickd up to the turret, but Wickd has not been losing a lot of CS, so he's actually getting slightly ahead here. YoungBuck staying in the lane. Remember, with Aurelia early on, your mana is very hard to control here, so you need to focus more on farming than straight up engaging, because with your ultimate, if you do your full combo at level 6, you actually afterwards.
Well, Wickd has just backed off, got himself a Doran's shield along with that blade, and boots as well. So to go straight away puts pressure back onto YoungBuck. Already putting a lot of damage down onto him. That may well force him out of the wave for a moment. Amazing is coming up though, and there is no vision at all from Wickd here.
Let's see if they can actually get the kill. There's no Ignite, of course, due to teleport on YoungBuck, so they're gonna lack some damage at least. And with the flash onto Wickd, it's gonna be very hard to kill him. But in the mid lane,
well, Froggen going in on CowTard. The Ignite being burnt out here. One more jump from Shook forces CowTard away. The Ignite is not gonna be enough. They need to back up on this one. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Wickd avoiding using that flash, and now they're gonna try and collapse in. Shook is the man that needs to close this down, but he's running towards that Tribus. Amazing is there. CowTard's caught out of position. Now they know where he is. Who's gonna take the kill?
Oh.
It will be Froggen.
And perfect for Alliance to get the first blood onto Froggen here, because he's going to be the guy split pushing. He's going to be the guy where Copenhagen Wolves won't have an answer to kill him or avoid dying to him in the 1v1s later in the game here. So perfect for them. And Wickd putting on some very good damage onto YoungBuck again.
He may get a kill here. He's going to keep on working him. There's the Blade Surge. It's not enough, but it forced the flash out of YoungBuck and Wickd.
So YoungBuck actually decided to stay in the lane because his teleport wasn't ready when Wickd recalled back and then teleported into here. So he had to stay, and it meant he was very low on mana. It was very easy for Wickd to get some good damage. And yes, Amazing came up there, forced the flash out of... Oh, actually didn't force the flash, he just used it in his 1v1 here. But Amazing came up, put some pressure. It just wasn't enough, and YoungBuck, he stayed again in the laning phase without any mana. So easy for Wickd to just turn it around.
It's one of those situations that every player faces that plays this game as when your opponent has backed away clearly to buy. You haven't quite got enough gold for that item you want, or you just stick around just that little bit too long. As it turns out, YoungBuck's gone and got himself the triple Doran's ring build. He did the same thing on Heimerdinger in the previous games.
He's building this like full lane control build, just early game power. It's gonna delay his items later on in the game though, so his big power spike with Death Cap and Void Staff is gonna be delayed by this, but his early game, his lane presence is gonna be higher, and he obviously wants to try and shut down Wickd, but he's falling behind in CS, and he just needs to make sure now at least he doesn't fall further behind.
Unlimited's been pulling some poke down on Nyph there. You see that Inner Flame keeps blasting out from him. That's the Q skill, in case you're unaware, that obviously does the damage burst and a good slow. Shook in this mid lane, looking to try and pounce on towards CowTard. Doesn't have his ultimate available, can't stealth his way in there. And CowTard quick to dodge out of that one.
But CowTard did pick up a fairly early tier here, so it's gonna stack up around the 24-25 minute mark, should be fully stacked, and that's where he really hits his power spike on Rise. And with this Ruby Crystal, getting at least some tankiness, but Froggen now taking control of the lane with the first blood and of course the early Cutlass from him.
Froggen cancelling the attack animation a little too soon. Oh, hello, CowTard using his ultimate there, bursting down onto Froggen, trying to force him away from this one. Looks like he's going to try and buy some time to go back and push towards that blue. He has taken, of course, the Tear of the Goddess early on.
Yeah, and CowTard was actually trying to bait out and all in from Froggen because Amazing moved into the lane. So he went aggressive, wanted Froggen to turn it around, and then Amazing could join in and they could try and pick up a kill onto Froggen. It didn't work though. Froggen decided to back off here, so nothing really happened.
So Nyph taking some serious damage in this bottom lane. He has been trying to heal himself up, but that's actually drawn the attention of Amazing on Lee Sin to come and maybe try and get a bite of this one. It has not hit level 6 that I can tell. He has, he's just hit level 6, so he has got that ultimate kick available, and you just saw the culling coming out there. That's going to take Nyph even lower. There is a ward in the Tribus just above. Actually, Telelight's just popped over the fence there. Amazing is going to spot that one. And looking across the Copenhagen walls, not too sure if they want a 3-man dive this one. We'll tell you what, that death sentence would have created a problem for Alliance. And again, Nyph takes another hit. They're going to have to back away from this one soon.
Yeah, again, notice what Amazing is actually doing. First in the mid lane, now down here in the bottom lane. he's waiting for Shook to make a move. And in case Shook would join in here to help out his bottom lane, who was pressured all the way down to the turret, he would be there, turn the fight around in favor of Copenhagen Wolves. So he's not actually starting ganks by himself. He's waiting for counter ganks at the moment. He's waiting for Shook to make a move.
Well, Wickd's actually leveled up and got his Berserker Greaves first item.
Wow.
Aurelia wants to get that movement clearly. He isn't warding too deep, which is actually something Wickd tends to do because he believes in his ability to escape. And this is something that is evolved from playing Aurelia a lot. Froggen going aggressive on towards CowTard there, forcing out that desperate power from CowTard to keep that wave and poke at bay. Froggen may go aggressive here. He hasn't got vision on him, and he's not going to go deep in for him, and it was a wise move to make because Amazing was just waiting over the side.
And one thing we didn't touch on in Champ Select is their alliance composition here, with actually Shook going aggressive onto CowTard. Not even close. Actually used the ultimate here, but the composition here for alliance, a lot of physical damage and actually 0 magic damage. So for Copenhagen Wolves, they can go full armor, and then when it comes to the late game points, it's going to be even harder for alliance to actually pick up a kill.
That is exactly why you see CowTard with that ninja tabby on him, making sure they can defend anything out from this full armor-piercing team that will come out. Wickd looking to maybe go aggressive again at YoungBuck, instead just trying to force him away. CowTard once again using that desperate power, burning down on towards Froggen with his overcharge, and at the moment he's not doing a bad job in that mid lane. Kept himself around about 15 CS ahead this whole lane phase, and again uses that Rune Prison, gets another burst back onto Froggen, and Froggen taking a lot of damage.
And that's the thing here for CowTard. He wants to use his ultimate as often as possible to get some damage onto Froggen, to make sure the Froggen doesn't feel safe enough to just all in onto him. That means Ryze can just continue farming away with Froggen, trying to pick up as much CS as possible, but he's not able to straight up 1v1 him. And that's the good thing CowTard is doing, and that's the reason for him having this Ryze in the mid lane.
Yeah, and it's just annoying that every time he steps forward, uses that overload, pokes him in the face, and just bursts him down. Pink ward from the Wolves here over at the Dragon. That's forcing Nyph to come looking, and he gets caught out with that inner flame. Quick burst forces the flash from Nyph very quickly.
It means Copenhagen Wolves can start the Dragon, also because they actually saw Froggen recall from the mid lane here. So easy Dragon for Copenhagen Wolves. Very good move. Good, quick decision making. As soon as they see someone backing off in the lanes, they just start the Dragon.
Wickd back in his top lane. Neither of them making a move. Both had teleport available, but it would have been wasteful for both of them, honestly. Copenhagen Wolves had that one very much secured early on. Shook coming around in towards this top lane. He's looking to try and make a play. There's the blade surge, there's the stun. YoungBuck is going to have to try and dash away from this one. Shook being pounced into the turret. Void Spikes being used, but didn't manage to get that claw onto YoungBuck.
And also, he didn't actually use the flash here from YoungBuck's side, so he only used the ultimate to escape and his body slam. Also, some of the power with his triple Thorn start here. He's very tanky actually early on.
He's gone straight back and got that needlessly large rod, along with his boots, so teleporting back towards the top. That teleport going to be on cooldown for 200 seconds. Nyph getting caught by once again that inner flame. This time around, Unlimited flashes in. Ultimate comes out of Nyph, but it's not going to be enough. That will be the kill. Unlimited taken very low by the minions there, and that ignite that Tabzz was trying to burn down. Instead, though, it is going to be Forgiven, getting himself that kill.
And standard Copenhagen Wolves bot lane play here, always so aggressive whenever there's a chance for something, but teleport coming in from Wickd here.
Wickd's going to try and close in towards them. They have got Shook coming around the side as well. He's called on towards Forgiven. He's the focus target. There's the ace in the hole coming out. Tabzz lands that damage. Wickd gets himself one kill. They will not dash through and get the second. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, CowTard also got took out by Froggen.
Yeah, Froggen actually went onto him under the turret here and just killed him 1v1, and that's so strong from this set because 2 kills early on. Again, Froggen is going to be the guy to split push. He's going to be the guy to get the turret, and he's going to be the guy Copenhagen Wolves won't know how to deal with. Look here, just diving him under the turret. He's down to 60%, actually 50 because he stands at the shadow. And then Froggen, all in. A bit too early flash here from CowTard. He needed to wait actually until the shadow was placed from the ultimate from Froggen here, and it was too easy for him to just pick it up.
Yeah. Despite the fact the minions have been wiped out, Blade Surge again, YoungBuck taking some pressure. The minions have been wiped out in that mid lane, but Froggen just thought, you know what? I've got the power to go in and take this kill. Of course, he had just gone back and got that Brutalizer, which gave him a big burst over CowTard, who himself has just gone and got that Chain Vest.
And now though, bot lane wise, the fact that turret is already gone, the fact they're playing with Lucian and Karma, normally we see Copenhagen Wolves then rotate into the mid lane and just start sieging it down. And then whenever a big wave is on, a big wave is down in the bottom lane. They just move down there and just try and defend it. But we actually see now Forgiven and Unlimited moving in here with CowTard. Froggen trying to clear it out, but they're still going to get quite some damage onto the mid turret.
Oh, it's a good hook onto Unlimited there. Takes himself 3 tower hits. It will get shielded up though, because don't forget that shield, Wickd using his ultimate to get some poke back on YoungBuck in this top wave. That's going to force YoungBuck away for now, and Copenhagen Wolves siege. Their rotations that they tend to do were defended for now by Alliance.
And that's where they just back off, move down to the bottom lane. Forgiven will pick up all the farm, and then he can return into the mid lane and try and do the same. It's very standard Copenhagen Wolves play here. It's going to be an issue for them, however, that the top lane, YoungBuck, is not able to hold himself against Wickd 1v1 here, because Wickd actually forced him out of the lane.
So, as it stands, the Copenhagen Wolves with a 2,000 gold lead, of course, have taken those 2 turrets, so that money technically is there and available for Alliance should they start pushing towers. They haven't put too many dents in them, though, so far, because it has been the Wolves pushing every single lane, and you can already see that that mid lane's taken a good half the hit points. Zed down the bottom, Froggen. They thought about going towards him. CowTard was making his way down. Don't forget, he does have teleport. There was a ward in the tri-bush, but the ground wasn't covered, and the Copenhagen Wolves are happy to keep on farming. Yeah,
Copenhagen Wolves have been doing a very good job of winning the early game here in both bottom lane, and I would also say in the mid lane, despite, oh well, he didn't win the mid lane, but he kept up in CS here, and he made sure, he actually got ahead in CS and made sure he got some damage onto the mid turret. The fact he gave up the 2 kills to Froggen, however, is a big mistake from CowTard's side, and actually turns it in favor of Alliance. But with the lead they got in bottom lane and also the Dragon, they still stay ahead in gold for now.
For now, Dragon up in just shy of 2 minutes, and Copenhagen Wolves are rotating around. It seems CowTard's going to take up duties down that bottom lane, and the rest of the Copenhagen Wolves, they want to put some pressure on this mid turret.
Look at the item build here from CowTard. Chain Wrist already, so he's delaying his Rod of Ages a lot, because he needs the early armor, otherwise seriously, he got no chance against Froggen if he doesn't build this early armor. So it delays his power spike going into the mid game or late game team fights. But at least for now, he should be able to hold him, you know, stand against Froggen a little bit better. I still actually think Froggen can kill him though with the Blade of the Rune King.
Well, Alliance are continuing to keep this mid lane pushed, and that keeps forcing Copenhagen Wolves to come back there. Forgiven has got that farm advantage over Tabzz right now. They have been having a bit of a duel down that bottom lane. Froggen laying in wait onto YoungBuck. They're going to come diving in here. No doubt about it. They're going to keep on diving in towards that tower. Explosive pack coming out. Explosive charge. Sorry. Barrel. God damn it. That thing. The big explosive cask is the word I'm after. More importantly, though, Froggen does come in and get the kill.
So he gets the kill here and actually going to push on to the turret. Remember, there is teleporting CowTard. He could go up there to stop it. Seems though he's just staying in the bottom lane. And meanwhile, Copenhagen Wolves putting a lot of pressure on this mid turret.
That Gragas, he's caused both of us problems this season, but right now Alliance are not too worried about it. They're pushing on. He's got himself that Zhonya's Hourglass this time around, so he won't be too afraid of Froggen this time. And that is going to be another tower being pressured, but that's the first one of the game for Alliance.
I have to question the fact that CowTard stayed in this bottom lane to get just like 15-20% damage onto the turret. He could have gone up top lane with his teleport and actually defended it. Made sure Alliance couldn't get this very crucial outer turret, because again, in a split push combo, you want to get the outer turrets down so you get some deep wards, and then you start taking control of the map. So I think he should have gone up top lane with his teleport and actually defended it.
Dragon control very much in the hands of the Copenhagen Wolves as they secure that one once again without any problems, without any interference from Alliance. They simply don't have the timers on it right now. And there is a fairly large sum of gold on both Forgiven and CowTard right now, as well as Tabzz, who's just gone back to Biotabla. He's not gone back, he's still in the mid lane, continuing the farm. 2k sat on your AD carry. Kind of want him to spend that gold, but it looks like he's going to stick around and farm up a storm and see where he goes back. YoungBuck using that explosive cask in the top lane to keep Wickd away.
There's nothing YoungBuck can do against Wickd at the moment. Wickd is, with this Trinity Force, can just tank up the damage from YoungBuck and just apply even more onto him, so he's forced to back off every single time. And we see him, he can wave clear, so he can keep Wickd off the turret, but he won't be able to actually kill him himself. And Tabzz here, he's already doing what he's going to be doing for the next 20-30 minutes of the game. Stay in the mid lane, farms, push it out, and whenever someone from Copenhagen Wolves is gone, he can get a few hits onto the turret. And in the end, he should be able to pick it up.
Forgiven delaying his back here. And he needs to be careful he doesn't hang around too long. Froggen catching out CowTard, but not going to go deep onto the tower this time around, I don't feel. Forgiven actually going to try and turn some of that aggression back around on Tabzz as he takes a couple of those double hits coming out, and he is all alone. We haven't seen Shook trying to make too many plays alongside him. Teleport down to the bottom. Here comes Wickd. Home guard boots running, diving on towards CowTard alongside Froggen. Easy kill there. Froggen takes a lot of hits from the tower, but does get out alive.
What a brutal combo here from Alliance. Teleport with home guard straight on to dive the poor Ryze, who couldn't do anything against it. They don't actually get the turret because Amazing comes down to defend here, and Froggen had to back off to the base. And meanwhile, up in the top lane, actually YoungBuck pushed it all the way down.
Yeah, and not too sure if he wants to push it, but he's going to try and take what farm he can. As he stands, he's just going to shove that wave back in, and Wicked's going to return. I'd tell a lie, Froggen's going to go back into that top lane because Wicked's going straight towards that top turret. Doesn't really care about Amazing anymore. Wicked's starting to become fairly unstoppable on that Aurelia.
Yeah, and such a big issue for Copenhagen was the fact they don't have anyone who can 1v1 Wickd, and they don't have anyone who can 1v1 Froggen. So it means for Alliance, when they split out in these lanes, Copenhagen will need to do something elsewhere and need to send multiple members to actually kill them. And if you play against a split push comp, you really want to make sure it's never going to happen, or that you get so far ahead in the early game that you dictate the map.
Well, CowTard's going to get himself his blue buff, and it may well be needed. He has yet to get many more defensive items. Even if that Rod of Ages completed on the previous visit,
very late.
It's very late on completing anything. That's Hero of the Goddess, though. He picked it up quite early on. Oh, he's not quite got it stacked. The mid turret does go down. That's the third one of the game for the Copenhagen Wolves. That means all the outer turrets are down, straight up towards those tier 2 inner turrets next. Froggen, he's invading, he's taking away the golems, and he talked about the split push. Nobody can really deal with him, and he's continuing to build those items. Blade of the Rune King, Brutalizer, Last Whisper will be coming soon, and I don't think anyone wants to deal with him, and more importantly, nobody is. Look at it, they're just all emigrating down towards this mid lane. Nobody wants to go face Froggen.
No, they're trying to force him to back off here to go down and defend, actually, if they just push down the wave here, force Tabzz away from the mid lane, so they can try and either push down the mid lane and then force Alliance to back off, or at least move up multiple members without losing anything, because they already cleared the minion wave here, so there's nothing Alliance can push with. But for now, not much is going to happen, because CowTard actually went up to clear it, and Froggen wise enough backed off because multiple members from Copenhagen Wolves were moving. And another issue for them, they don't actually have any hard engage. They need to teleport in behind them with Ryze, or they need to land the kick from Amazing to set something up with the ultimate from YoungBuck, but they're all very hard to actually pull off, and Alliance can just flash off them as well. So it's going to be hard for Copenhagen Wolves to straight up engage if they see an opportunity.
There is no fear at all from Wickd anymore. He's just pushing himself around this map, putting pressure on towards any members. Teleport coming out. That's going to be CowTard. Home guard boots. They're going to try and return the favor. Nyph is going to flash away from that one. Can he catch on towards Shook? Shook is stealths up and takes the lantern away. And that gank fails. Meanwhile, top lane, well, it's going to be another teleport. YoungBuck going to have to deal with Froggen and clear that wave because Froggen's pushing in there. That's both teleports now down for the Wolves.
Yeah, but Copenhagen Wolves actually tried one of the engaged options, which was the teleport we just talked about with Ryze coming down, trying to set something up with the home guard. Meanwhile, though, they use the teleport and YoungBuck simply to defend the split push. But again, he won't be able to go toe-to-toe with Froggen here. But with Sonya's at least onto Gragas, he should be able to defend himself. CowTard now taking a lot of damage from Wickd.
CowTard tried to go aggressive, used his desperate power on towards Wickd, and Wickd just turned it around and went straight back in his face. And that was a fairly even trade there. That's a sign of the times for CowTard. He's starting to pick up some power, but Wickd, with that Negatron cloak, was able to defend.
Yeah, so CowTard actually did a very good job of turning it around onto Wickd, but normally, you would actually want to see the Z against the Ryze, which at least for Alliance side, but they might actually feel the Froggen won't be able to kill him just straight up now with all the armor onto CowTard, so that's why they're rotating him away from him. Actually, they're sending him down bot lane now, so they want to have him against CowTard because when he all-ins, they at least bank on the fact he can kill him, but let's see if he can actually do it.
We'll see how that one works out. CowTard coming in. Oh, Rune Prison caught on Shook there. They stood on top of that ward, and it does mean he's backing away from that one. Dragon is up in 10 seconds, and for once it seems Alliance may actually be in position to fight for it.
But YoungBuck is down here. He can walk down to bottom lane in case he wants to stop the push from Froggen, because again, he got the Sonyas, so he's able to at least avoid the ultimate damage from Froggen here, which is the annoying part for him, and why they rotate him away from the Gragas. But now this Dragon fight, Copenhagen Wolves still have a very good team fighting combo, so if Alliance decides to engage onto them, let's see what actually happens.
Yeah, Wicked's down to half health as well coming into this one. There's a ward on the Dragon. They're going to start off. Death Sentence does not land. They're going to jump in for it. It's a smite, and Shook takes it. Can he get onto the lantern? You bet your life he can. But the last charge comes through. There's the explosive cask on Nyph. They're going to flash through. That's a good room prison, and that's going to be a second kill. It was a Dragon for 2 deaths. Not too sure whether which was worth it.
They can go for Baron here. Shook is dead. 25 seconds on the smite, and with this combo here, they still have a lot of damage onto Rise, onto Forgiven, of course. They can start up this Baron, or at least force Alliance to try and come and stop them, and turn on them.
Oh, Wicked tries to turn some power in there and put a good burst of damage down on the AD carry. That may give Copenhagen Wolves pause for thought, but it seems they're going to go for this one. This is a dangerous, dangerous play because all the carries, all the damage dealers for Alliance are alive. The only thing they're missing is the smite, which is now spawned. They're taking a lot of damage, and this Baron's not going down quick enough. They're going to have to peel for it. Froggen goes in, gets his ultimate down towards Froggen, Forgiven, gets away with it as well. Baron, you see, no, he gets the kill. The Baron back up towards the damage. Shook is running in, as well as Nyph. They've only taken it down to half health, and they're still tanking it up now. Here comes Nyph, here comes Shook, straight on towards it. YoungBuck going down. There's going to be 1 kill. Gets the reset. Jumps back across. Aurelia gets the kill. Amazing goes down. Wicked picks him double for double. Now they move towards the Baron. YoungBuck gets away with it. My God, what a turnaround. YoungBuck still not got an ultimate. Shook jumps on him. Takes him down. Goes back. Eats the Baron. Thank you very much. Alliance in the lead.
So Froggen, Wicked, and Tabzz managed to delay this Baron for so long that Shook could come in. Nyph came in there and turned it around. Yes, Froggen went down. Baron actually killed him with his last hit there, but still, they delayed it. Look here, how long it actually takes for Copenhagen Wolves to kill this Baron, and once Froggen goes in, everyone turns around to him. Nobody hits the Baron now. There's no damage onto it, and they kick him in. He jumps to his own shadow over here, but then we see Baron just spitting out the last hit here. Oh, bunk right in the bot of Froggen, and he's dead. But Copenhagen Wolves now are so low, and at the same time, Baron is still with so much HP that Shook can actually join in. 4 members now can just finish off Copenhagen Wolves and get the Baron. So giant turnaround for Alliance.
Wow, Copenhagen Wolves, it was a risky play, and the delayed fight they had really turned around to bite them in the backside, and now Alliance with the Baron. It's only on 3 members though, let's not forget, because both Froggen and Wicked were dead from that fight. However, it will create a situation where Alliance can start to put pressure onto the Copenhagen Wolves, and more importantly, they have that gold lead. They are equal in towers, and now they're starting to siege.
And again, instantly they split up here in the lanes, and Froggen actually wanted to wait to see who was up here before he moved any further. And because the rest of Alliance is not in position to punish Copenhagen Wolves yet, he's just waiting a little bit. And now, once they push up this wave, that's where we can see him move up and start putting more pressure on the top lane. Because if multiple members from Copenhagen Wolves move up, then he can just... then the mid lane here can just be killed by Alliance.
Big burst of damage on Shook. That's going to force him away. That's going to force Alliance to slow down. It's not going to slow Wicked and Froggen down. They're both keeping that tower push going. It's the 1-3-1 split push that we saw Rockan using so successfully in the early days of the spring split. And Alliance now going to try and make it their own and putting a lot of pressure on the Wolves.
And again, notice Froggen always backs off whenever the wave is coming from Copenhagen Wolves here in the mid lane. He backs off because he knows his team is not in a position to get anything if he gets ganked up here, if he dies. Also, as soon as it pushes up, he moves forward, kills the wave, but CowTard is staying so far back that Froggen can actually he cannot all in him.
They have good vision wards, and that's why Unlimited's coming in to try and clear them out himself. It was a ward actually on top of his own ward, which is why it looked confusing that he was shooting at his own one. We do see the continue to put pressure. Bottom turret has actually taken some hits from Wicked. He's continuing to be forcing on, but we all know how good the wave clear is of a Gragas, and now that he's got that Death Cap and Zhonya's Hourglass, he won't have any problems keeping that waves clear.
Nope, and with the double teleport, as long as Copenhagen Wolves can continue to clear the waves here and not lose their turrets, they will be able to teleport in case a fight should break out somewhere, or in case Alliance rotates around the map. So, as long as they can wave clear, they can hold out for now and hold out this Baron buff.
Nyph waiting off at the side, wants to land that death sentence. CowTard purposefully taking and staying towards the top area of the map. Nyph realizing that Unlimited's there, will rotate back around towards this middle turret. Raids being pulled in, culling being used by Forgiven, everything from the Copenhagen Walls being used to keep this bound up Alliance away from the towers.
And it's just overall very good play, because you don't want to fight in against this Baron up team, and at the same time, CowTard, he doesn't want to go 1v1 against him, and now Wickd is finally getting onto YoungBuck.
Yeah, YoungBuck went a little bit too deep. He's going to have to use that Zhonya's. He may well. Wickd forces him away. Almost low on mana though, so he's not going to go too deep, but that's bought time in the top lane for Alliance to get themselves a position and take down the inner turret.
So they finally get a turret up here, and down in the bottom lane, actually, Froggen going very aggressive onto Wickd, forcing him away. Nothing really happens from it. But we saw what happened when YoungBuck moves away from his own turret. He found Wickd, and he could do nothing against him. He was forced to back off, and they were forced to send Froggen, so Alliance instead could just take the top turret.
Let's see if they set up a play here. Remember, there is teleport on Wickd. He will have those home guards available. We're seeing Froggen continuing to push. He's going to back off in that top lane, though he is stood right on top of Ward, so they know have full information of that, and they realize that Alliance is stepping away, and that's why you see the Copenhagen Wolves quickly moving to try and push this mid lane.
Yeah, they want to try and force Alliance to have all 5 members in the mid lane so they can't apply pressure on the side lanes, but they're not strong enough at all at this point, so they have to back off just with the 4 members from Alliance defending, and it's going to delay the game for Copenhagen Wolves. It's what they're looking for here. They just want more items. We could even see his Sonya's possibly on CowTard, so he's going to be able to 1v1 against Froggen.
CowTard standing in the base. Will we see a teleport dash in here instead? No, he's going to use them home guards to just run on out. He wants to clear out that bottom wave. They are going to pounce on towards it. YoungBuck caught out here. Has got that Zhonya's. His mate were going to have to use it, but he didn't get time because the hook from Nyph was good.
So as soon as they find a member here, they just instantly pile onto him with 5 members, get the kill. A lot of the waves here are now gone for Copenhagen Wolves Alliance. They want to push towards this one, and they can dive. They've
got the Siege Minion with them. They've got 5 melee champions, well, 4 melee champions and a Thresh. I'm not too sure what you count Thresh as really, but technically is a lashing champion. I'm not too sure. Nevertheless, they're pushing through the turret and the inner turret down, and now they're pushing on towards the inhibitor.
Yeah, and again, YoungBuck 15 seconds before he joins in, but Copenhagen Wolves, nice hook.
Onto Unlimited, and well, Froggen chooses to follow through, and this one turns it back on towards Forgiven. Will he get popped down? No, not quite enough damage. There was a Guardian Angel being picked up by Froggen. That was used off of the side there. Tabzz now caught out. Another hook, this time onto CowTard, but Alliance, they're running. Wickd had gone down, and it's a 4-on-5 for Copenhagen Wolves.
But look at Forgiven in that team fight here, how he's kiting him back. Everyone focusing. The ultimate from Froggen was there. He just moved backwards, got a lot of damage and actually survived, and then they could turn around, get a kill onto Wickd, and now moving for this dragon. It's going to be very good for him to get this gold.
And the dragon control has actually been very good for Copenhagen Wolves in this game, and this is going to lock in, I believe, their 3rd or 4th of the game so far. So fantastic turnaround. It does keep them very close in gold as well. It was the 3rd of 4, and it means that it's only still a 2,000 gold disadvantage. And without that Baron buff now, it is all on once again for the Copenhagen Wolves to try and put some pressure back onto Alliance's base.
And with Baron up in 30 seconds here, let's see if Alliance want to move straight up to the Baron pit, get full vision control in this jungle area of Copenhagen Wolves around their own around the Copenhagen Wolves red buff, and then set up the next Baron, or they're just gonna go straight out in the lanes again and do the same split push we just saw. They got a turret from it, but when it comes to straight up pushing without anyone from Wolves being dead, they have a very hard time actually getting to the turret because of the wave clear from Rise, from of course YoungBuck, and from Forgiven.
YoungBuck starting to hit a pretty big power spike now. He's got that Frozen Heart on him. He's got that Seraph's Embrace complete as well. So he really is going to be very, very strong. We'll see how it works out for them. They try and track down a target, and they found one. It is Nyph. He just gets exploded where he stands.
Beautiful play by Copenhagen Wolves. They see both members from Alliance in the side lane, so they just instantly go and engage with the Rise. CowTard now, he's gonna recall back to defend the base here. Wickd pushing very far up, but meanwhile, the Wolves members are pushing down mid.
Well, Wicked's gonna keep pushing. The moment he sees CowTard, he may have to react to this one. He has got teleport available, but he's not using it so far. There goes the inner turret, and CowTard, Wicked sticking around, Froggen sticking around. They're keeping the split push going.
They didn't actually feel they could go down and defend his turret, so they gave it up for free. And with CowTard recalling and stopping Wicked, he actually did nothing. He could have at least tried to move in to force Copenhagen Wolves back, but nope, he decided to stay in the lane. And same goes for Froggen. He wouldn't be able to come back in time anyway because he doesn't have a teleport.
Forgiven almost caught out by Wicked there. Not too sure who would win that fight right now. Forgiven is pretty strong with that Infinity Edge, Bloodthirster, and Trinity Force on him. Has got the dash maybe to avoid some of the damage of Wicked, but Wicked, if he can get that damage, surge on towards him. Still, CowTard running defense, running interference in that mid lane, in that base area, and Wicked is going to back away. Baron is now up, and everybody's moving for it.
Copenhagen Wolves are there first to at least clear this pink ward, which YoungBuck is running around in here, so they clear it out. Get a bit of a vision control here from Copenhagen Wolves side. If they force Alliance to straight up team fight them 5 versus 5, the Copenhagen Wolves combo with this very strong rise at this point will be able to do a lot of damage. But CowTard now taking a lot of damage.
CowTard taking a hell of a lot beating here from Wickd, but look at this, teleport from behind. YoungBuck comes around, explosive cask available, there it is, locks him in place, but it doesn't quite do enough, and now Wicked's running for his life. The rest of his team are with him, and they do not pursue because Froggen and Tabzz were coming across.
So teleport down here from YoungBuck, didn't manage to pick up the kill, but at least they forced Wickd to back away from the lane here, and we still see the damage Wickd can do once he gets onto CowTard here. So it's the same reason we normally see YoungBuck being the one to defend against Wickd, because he can just stand at the turret, wave clear, and Wickd doesn't have to wait for the next wave before he does anything.
That may give Copenhagen Wolves pause for thought when they keep putting CowTard up against Wickd. They may realize this isn't quite as safe as we originally planned. Froggen tries to bait out some aggression from one of them as Shook waited off at the side as the rest of Alliance rotate and clear out all of the coverage that Copenhagen Wolves have put around that Baron pit area. Alliance not going for the Baron themselves. They want to make a pick before that happens. Try and take somebody down. Anyone will do. They're not too fussed on the target.
Wickd is going to go down to this bottom lane once again. The teleport is ready. He's going to push it out very, very fast and force someone from Copenhagen Wolves to react or force them to try and set something up. If they can get his teleport out now, it's going to be a big win for Copenhagen Wolves. It's going to stop his split pushing. That's why they're moving into this Baron area here. There's a teleport on CowTard though. He's going to recall and then he's going to go down and clear the wave.
That's going to be a bit of damage on towards that inhibitor turret. Wickd has cleared that wave out. The rest of Alliance are keeping vision. They know that CowTard is back. They know that it's a 4-on-4 situation. Of course, CowTard with a teleport of his own could try and chase himself down here. That inhibitor was defended. You saw it in the little corner there. The rest of Alliance come around. The hook does not land from Nyph, and that was a good burst of damage from just a barrel and an inner flame out of Copenhagen Wolves on Nyph.
But we keep seeing the same thing here in this game. We see the aggressive split push from Alliance and then the defense from Copenhagen Wolves every single time because they got this double teleport, because they got double AP to clear out the waves. And now finally, 4 members pushing up here. 4 members from Alliance actually staying back to defend. This is what Copenhagen Wolves want. They want to keep Froggen in this mid lane so he's not applying any pressure.
Froggen, with that Guardian Angel now back up, may well be the man that starts things off this time around. Will he dive deep, keeping the pressure, trying to get a little poke towards YoungBuck, who rolls out that barrel. Wickd continuing to be the pain in the backside for Copenhagen Wolves as he keeps on pushing that bottom lane, shoving it in. CowTard responding once again and keeping him at bay. They don't seem to be making a dent in that lane. CowTard once again gets aggressed upon. That gigantic shield comes out from the Seraphs this time around, and Wickd does dash away with his Blade Surge.
So actually again, CowTard getting some good damage onto Wickd, and both of them for now just farming away with teleport. But now going very aggressive onto YoungBuck.
Oh, he's going to try and catch on towards him. This time Froggen goes in onto the tower. Very, very deep in a 1v4 situation. Guardian Angel was available. He didn't need it. Managed to get out and actually catch our camera well out of position there and managing to dash out of it with those shadows.
So barrier going for Forgiven, but also the ultimate and the flash and the ignite for Froggen here. So he invested a lot into this one. Forgiven still with the flash for the next team fight. YoungBuck did have to use his own flash though to get away, so he's gonna a little bit more insecure when he's gonna stand here and clear, or wave clear, but as long as he stays back with the Zhonya's, he shouldn't really be in danger of dying. Unless, of course, Copenhagen Wolves want to push out of their own base.
Tabzz has got himself red buff. Everybody from the Alliance is stepping away for just a moment, and Copenhagen Wolves having to do the same. It has been a drawn-out fight. They are building and fighting for vision control right now around that Baron pit. We see Nyph once again, puts the pink ward down, clears out everything that Copenhagen Wolves had fought to get in towards that pit, and now, again, we see the Wolves rotate back around and get themselves some wards in the pit.
And this game at the moment is just about who can actually find the pick, who can find someone out of position and kill him, because a straight up 5 versus 5, it's going to be hard to set up for both teams because both of them are standing in different lanes, always defending and split pushing. So it all depends if CowTard can pick up a kill onto Wicked, then all of a sudden Copenhagen Wolves can move to the Baron, he can teleport in, and then they're 5 versus 4. Or the other way around, if Wicked kills CowTard here, then they force YoungBuck to go out and defend, and then the 4 members from Alliance can start either Baron or push up somewhere else against only the 3 members from Copenhagen Wolves. So it's going to be all about these 1v1s, 2v2s around the map, who can actually pick up the first kill.
For sure, when this 5v5 does ever happen, if it may well be, if it ever happens, that is very true. It will be a very explosive affair. They're closing on towards Wickd in that bottom lane, and again he steps away. Froggen wants to try and catch out. Maybe it's going to be Amazing that's going to step towards that bush. Instead, it's going to be Nyph once again out of position. Has to flash away, and Amazing get on towards him. Froggen is in that pit. He may catch on towards Unlimited.
Oh, why didn't he go for it?
He did not fancy his chances. The problem is the rest of his team had just stepped away, so he would have been all on his own had he gone across in towards there. Shook takes the lantern and prevents that culling damage. It is a very quick cooldown, and the rest of the Copenhagen Wolves again step in towards the Baron and sweep out those wards.
Wickd actually down to 50%, still going aggressive.
Going on towards CowTard. CowTard already used that Seraph's Embrace. He may well get enough on towards him. Gets another surge, charges on towards him. Does not quite get close enough though. This way is going to be Shook. He's going to get in on towards him. Manages to take down Froggen. Amazing follows him towards him. Shook gets taken down. The Baron does the damage, but Nyph comes back on towards him. Froggen has taken down YoungBuck over the side there alongside Tabzz. Amazing gets caught out. The hook comes in. Tabzz gets a double. And this time Alliance will turn to the Baron.
So finally here, Alliance gets a kill, and then in the upcoming fight here, where Copenhagen Wolves are trying to return them back, trying to chase them. Amazing actually kicked Shook into the Baron. He died from it, but still, he was there on left on the wrong side. Froggen also Unlimited.
Froggen goes on, Unlimited's going to get caught, but is it enough? No, he manages to get away from it. He doesn't care. He's just running simple defensive duties now, and this Baron will go down to the duo lane pairing of Nyph and Tabzz.
And we didn't actually see what happened because we were looking at the fight here in the bottom lane, so we didn't see how Alliance caught out Copenhagen Wolves. We're going to see there with the replay. Amazing, clearing the pink water first, and then notice down here, Forgiven is going to be the target here, but Froggen just buying out time. The rest of the team Shook coming in here behind. Then he goes aggressive onto Forgiven. Ultimate, a lot of damage already, and then Shook can join in with stealth here. Also the ultimate from Caitlyn, of course. He's going to go down. There we go, and he's dead. Amazing. You want to pick up the kill now onto Shook. You want to turn around so Alliance can start the Baron. And actually very nice kick into the Baron. But he's now caught on the wrong side of the pit, and the rest of his team is far away. So he's going to die when Nyph lands his very good hook.
That ace in the hole just snuck through as well. YoungBuck tried to dash across and block it, but unfortunately it snuck through, which is what did that big burst of damage. And then the explosive cask actually falls Shook towards Forgiven because he was already pouncing that way, and the Copenhagen Wolves found themselves all shook up. Right now though, Alliance are managing to push through the mid lane. Of course they have that Baron buff.
Yeah, but we have seen this situation before. When Alliance had Baron buff the last time, they did the same thing. 3 members in the mid lane, 2 members split pushing, and Copenhagen Wolves managed to just wave clear and hold them off. That's what they're gonna try and do again. 5 members in mid lane for now, because none of the lanes, the side lanes, are actually pushed all the way up to Copenhagen Wolves' turret, so they're just waiting for them to come there. Don't want to be caught out before something happens.
And the 1-3-1 split is back on for Alliance. The Zork, the Baron been taken down. This time around though, they're going to put some pressure on. Wicked's already proved that he can put a lot of damage down on CowTard.
Yeah, look at the build here from Wickd. There's 0 armor because he's only going to be split pushing against both YoungBuck and CowTard, so no armor. Froggen very aggressive here.
Trying to get on towards Froggen, Forgiven, sorry. They'd already taken him down very low there, and you saw the stealth coming out of Shook as well. He wanted to get that speed boost to catch on towards him. Snipe on Unlimited is going to take them a little bit lower, but again, they haven't really got enough because that siege, the wave clear, sorry, is so strong from the Copenhagen Wolves.
But Copenhagen Wolves now, big issue with this Wickd up here because we saw him before against CowTard. He won out on the fight, and he's now even stronger with Baron buff and some items. So he's just going to continue pushing it down, and CowTard, he doesn't really fancy going up and trying to 1-1 him again. Meanwhile though, Alliance just pushing up this mid lane, making sure Copenhagen Wolves can never move out of their base.
Keep on moving in there. Tabzz isn't quite going to risk going in and getting a shot on towards that tower because he could easily get locked down by some burst of CowTard. We are going to see Alliance, they're sticking around, they want to push that bottom wave now, while Aurelia, on its form of Wicked, is actually going to back off. Let's see if he uses a home guard invade. And
this mid lane turret here is so important for Copenhagen Wolves because as long as
teleporting in,
just pushing it out, though CowTard was there as well. But his mid lane turret, the reason Copenhagen is so important for them is because once it's gone, then Alliance will push them all the way in the base and can roam between the lanes without any trouble. As long as this turret is up here, Copenhagen Wolves can get fast up to the side and stand Alliance, and that's why they don't want to split push.
Good burst onto Froggen there from CowTard. That's going to force Alliance back, and Copenhagen Wolves do manage to live to fight another day, and they keep on keeping this siege away from Copenhagen Wolves. And Alliance, they just don't seem to be able to break through the barrier. The the wave clear that they have. Oh, CowTard's been caught out. He's in trouble. He's going to go down. But the Saracen Embrace, he puts a gigantic shield down. Finally, Shook gets in. Manages to take him down. Amazing gets focused. Froggen gets in towards him. They've got 2 down. And now they're on the turret.
Now they get it here. So the last outer turret is gone. It means Copenhagen Wolves, they need to defend in their own base. I have no idea how CowTard got caught out of position there. He had one job. Don't be caught out and don't die. Just stand into your turret and defend. It was the only thing he needed to do.
I think he thought he managed to catch someone out, went looking for that kill, and the rest of Alliance, well, they pounced on that one. They're not going to take an open invitation.
Wow,
Unlimited's down. He's going to go pop, and that is going to be another one as they jump on Forgiven. Zed gets himself a second. Forgiven going ham. YoungBuck, he's going to use that Zhonya's Hourglass, but this could be Alliance rushing on through their base. There is 20-second death timers on both Amazing and CowTard, and this could easily be enough time for Alliance to push on through for the win.
There's no minion wave yet, so they're going to have to tank the turrets themselves, and Wickd up in the top lane is pushing here, but they're going on to the Nexus turrets.
Well, they're going to run on through, and Alliance are going to take themselves 3rd place. Ironically, it means they will face the Copenhagen Wolves in the quarterfinals of the playoffs if they finish the game right now, which they're not going to. CowTard runs out, tries to get on towards Tabzz. Tabzz is doing what he can. Froggen round the backside. He's doing a Peke once again. He's going to take down the Nexus. CowTard tries to go take. Tabzz is going to get dropped down, but it's Froggen that finishes the game. And Alliance take down the Copenhagen Wolves and finish 3rd place. It was a long thought out thing, that's for sure. 18-9 the overall kills count at 45 minutes. And Alliance get themselves another win, taking them 2-2 overall in Super Week. But that important position, it was the playoffs, and that means there is no tiebreakers, ladies and gentlemen. Woo!